Hello and welcome to this video on writing at work. This time we're going to discuss organizing your projects. We frequently talk about the importance of outlining your writing project, and that is indeed one way of organizing it. Likewise, if you've taken a writing course in the past, you've discussed the different ways of organizing your sentences and paragraphs. However, at this point, we're going to talk about a very different type of organization, and that is how to organize your projects and research on your computer. I'm briefly going to discuss a couple of different applications you can use for both task and project management, but also resource management. And if any of these strike you as being useful, then you'll want to look at them in more depth later. At the end, like usual, I'll provide some tips that can help you as you move forward. So first, let's talk about how to organize the tasks and projects that you will need to complete. There are three general levels when it comes to the resources here. The first is something like Wunderlist, which is where you basically have a to-do list on your computer. The benefit for this, if you don't mind losing that satisfaction of crossing things off a piece of paper, is that you can access your list whenever you have an internet connection. Some online applications like Evernote will allow you to do this, but also add notes, documents, and tags to your list. So, for example, if you need to read a white paper while preparing a memo for your supervisor, you can put that white paper on your to-do list and actually drop that document in there as well. And then there are some online services that are designed so that you can integrate other people into your list and therefore manage projects that involve a group. This will allow everyone to identify how the project is moving forward at once and notice any snags or red flags in terms of deadlines. The key thing to consider here isn't that you should use one of these three programs in particular, but that there are a range of services out there that you can use if you're having a hard time managing a larger project, either when you're working on it by yourself or with other people. But what about when you're looking at organizing your research? Well, fortunately, there are different options available to you here too. One of them is Zotero, which allows you to create an annotated bibliography on your computer. This is useful if you're going to need to be an expert in a subject over the course of several years. Imagine, for example, that you become the go-to person on widgets at work, and as a result, you spend some time every week learning about what's new in the field of widget development. You can attach notes to those articles in Zotero and add tags to them, such as advanced widgetry. And then 2 years later, you can look at all of your notes and articles that you found on advanced widgetry when someone comes to you with an emergency about widgets. Another option is Diigo. Diigo is like the online version of Zotero. It's a browser plugin, so you can call websites, highlight and annotate them like you would a PDF or a paper document, and apply tags to them just like you would in Zotero. You can see how that would be useful if most of your research is happening over the internet. The main issues with Diigo involve the fact that you need to give the plugin permission to interact with what you're doing on the internet, and that can make some people nervous. Some people might also find the Diigo tools that pop up with your cursor a bit annoying. Either way, it's a good idea to look into the different tools available to you early on. I can tell you from personal experience that it's a terrible feeling to know that you read something somewhere, but you can't remember where you read it. So to end, let's look at some tips on organization. First, make sure that you understand what's required of you and how success at a particular task can be defined. Then, if you're working on something that involves multiple people, make sure that you're clear about everyone's roles and just how you'll communicate. And finally, be mindful about how you'll organize your materials. You never know when you'll need them again. That's all for this video. Best of luck as you get to organizing.